So you're very welcome, everybody. If you are new to these sessions, my name is Dominic Cogan, and right now I'm based in my home in County Kildare, and I'm associated with the Mindfulness Centre in Dublin. And just to say, as we usually do at the beginning of the practice, that the practice is offered freely as guidance for you. And there's no sense of any obligation to do it exactly the way it's guided. The important thing is that you mind yourself. So you do whatever you need to support yourself, which could sometimes mean stopping the meditation if you needed to do that, if you felt any sense of overwhelm or anything like that. But it's good actually, if you can, to just explore maybe the edges of what's comfortable for you sometimes, but making a wise choice about what's best for you right now. One of the resources that we'll be using throughout this meditation is the resource of silence and stillness. So there'll be periods when I won't be talking, and that's for you to really savor what's happening for you in terms of your inner awareness. So bringing into the foreground of awareness now the sense of being in a body. The sense of the feet in contact with the ground, rooted to the ground, and supported. I mean, it's a good idea to sit tall or stand tall. If you're lying down, being aware of the full length of the body. And noticing all those points of contact between the body and what you are resting upon. The contact with clothing. And any other points of contact, such as hands touching each other, lips, eyelids. And then the breath touching the tip of the nostrils as it enters. You may notice the breath having a certain cool quality as you breathe in through the nose. And you may also notice that as you breathe out through the nose again, the breath may feel a little bit warmer. So just checking to see what is true for you right now. And knowing that if you find the mind wandering at any point, which is a very common experience, that you can always bring it back to the sensation of the breath or the feeling of the body in contact with floor or bed or chair, or inner sensations within the body itself. And you might like to play with having the eyes closed or having them open. And considering the notion that one of the reasons we experience dissatisfaction or unhappiness with ourselves is that we over-identify with some notion of how we should be. Or we get quite hung up on things we have done, things we have achieved. And perhaps we barely acknowledge the quality of being itself. The depth of our sensitivity, understanding, listening, knowing when to let be. And in this regard, trees have much to teach us. So if you consider a tree that you might be familiar with, trees are very often not completely symmetrical. They may bend towards one side. They may have attachments like ivy or lichen. The older the tree, the more likely that there will be various kinds of blemishes on the bark of the tree. And yet we'd rarely fault a tree for its organic shape. We might, in fact, appreciate it more for its natural way of rising up into the sky. And of course, if we stick around long enough, we see trees throughout the different seasons. So if it's a deciduous tree, we may see them in their summer glory. And maybe a profusion of colors in the autumn before growth falls away. And in winter, everything is so pared back, skeleton-like. Until spring comes again. And is it not the case that our own lives go through seasons also? Seasons of growth, success, loss, dormancy. Times when life seems to pare us back. However, we may look at our own bodies in more critical ways than we might look at a tree, comparing ourselves to Instagram images or fashion magazines or celebrities. And we may judge ourselves as being wanting in some way. And it's useful to reflect also that trees, when we see them, we're not seeing the full picture. Because the root structure of trees can often be as all encompassing as what we see above the ground. So with trees, there's a whole network of life and productivity going on below the visible. And this underground aspect of the tree is what gives its stability, its ability to withstand storms, gusts of wind, hail, and rain. And of course, we can be equally fooled by ourselves, that we may simply see ourselves as the role we perform in a work situation, possibly the role of being a parent or a partner, a son or a daughter. We may over-identify with the different kind of memberships that we have, whether it's member of a particular nationality or gender, religious group, sporting organization. And is it not the case that just like trees, we also have a hidden dimension that is every bit as full and all encompassing as the roots of trees? And it's this less visible aspect that we're attending to right now. And with our ability our mobility curtailed in the last couple of months for so many of us, we may find that we are more aware of the natural world, spending maybe a little bit longer noticing plants and trees and animals. And it's remarkable to see an oak or a birch or an elm tree that has stood in the one place and yet has a rich life of being beyond words, beyond thought. Part of the discipline of mindfulness is learning how to stay on the cushion or the chair, how to stay present with the truth of whatever is happening on the inside. And in that sense, trees could be our mindfulness teachers. Of course, the challenge for us is that while our bodies might stay on the chair, our minds might travel to very far off places. And so we have the practice of coming back to the sensation of the breath or sensations within the body as a way of rooting us, tree-like, to the place where we find ourselves. I'd like to read a poem, and not surprisingly, this poem is called Tree. Almost invisible in your there-ness, I have sped past you days out of mind. Now I stand before your standing silence, which you've kept over many years past my remembering. I walk around you tentatively, sensing a radiating energy. With fingers spread, I touch a smoothness on your bark as a lover. Your book name is unknown to me, but your leaf signature presses between the palms of my hands, a surprising intimacy. And your only answer to this heaving heart I present before you is uncompromising stillness. Soon I must leave, but when I am far from you and winter has come, as it will, I want to imitate your letting go, your tall beauty scored against the sky, and just be.